everyone, Danielle here with Eraser Scrap for Newton's Nook Designs, and I'm going to show you how to make this fun 3D pop-up card. So these pop-up cards are all the rage right now, and they do stand on their own, and they're so much fun to make. They look really intimidating, but they're not. So let's get started. They do fold flat, and you do have to make a custom envelope to fit with these dimensions because this is not a normal card size. I will show you how to make that. So for this card I used Winston's birthday and Newton's birthday bash. So let's get started. You're going to need scissors, some super sticky tape, red line, or the sticky stuff, tacky stuff. This is a terrible kind. You can tear with your fingers. You're going to need a 12-inch or longer trimmer and a 12-inch or scoreboard. This is the Martha Stewart Scoreboard work. So let's get started. And you're going to, and 2 sheets of paper, one for your box and one for your envelope. Now let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start on our card base. I'm going to try and keep this in frame. It's a little tough. So you do need 12 by 12 paper. Any kind will do. I picked a heavier stock for the base of the card. So your initial paper size needs to be 11 and 11/16 by 6.5 inches. So we're going to start off and do the 11 and 11/16, and 16ths are all the small tick marks, so you just got to count off 16 after the 11. I've already marked it. Sorry, I'm out of frame. The little ticks. I already marked it just so it's easier for the video, and yes, I've already done this a few times and messed up. So you're just going to cut that. So you're just cutting a little bit off. Then you're going to rotate your paper. And you're going to cut at 6.5. On this trimmer, it's weird. And there's a glare. But it's that mark right there. Okay, save the extra piece. That's what we're going to use for our inserts. So this is our card base. You can put your trimmer away for the moment. And grab your scoreboard. If you don't have a scoreboard, you can score on your trimmer as well. Like if the Fiskars one has a track, you can use a stylus and just go in the track instead of using your cutting tool. Okay, so on the long side of your piece of paper, you're going to butt that up here. And it's in the corner. And you're going to score at 2 3/4. So, sorry, I have plenty of tick marks here for me, but this is 2 3/4. I'm going to do this a couple times because this is a thicker, heavier weight cardstock. Then you're going to do it at 5.5 inches, 8 1/4. Sometimes go a little slower if you kind of veer off the channel. And then 11 inches. Okay. Then you're going to take your piece of paper and you're going to rotate it 90 degrees. And then you're going to score at 2 15/16, which on this board is right here. I'm going a little slower because this is a longer score mark. Okay. Now you can put your scoreboard away for the moment. We are going to create the base of the card, I guess. So you're going to grab your scissors and you're going to start off here, and what it is if you look at this card here, your base is where the little inserts are, is the longer piece, and your flaps are shorter. So when we have it face this way, you're going to cut on the short side. So I'm going to just turn this over for the ease of myself. And you're just going to cut. You can use your trimmer, you can use your scissors. Scissors I find are easier. Just cut up to that center line and stop. You're just creating your flaps. That's all you're doing right now. And for the last one that has the small little area, basically this piece right here is going to be the tab to hook it together. So I'm going to just cut a little diagonal into that corner. And then I'm going to cut this off. And you can discard this. So there's your base, basically. So you can go ahead and fold all your folds. Get them nice and worked. Now, you're going to need your sticky tacky tape, and I suggest folding your little flap in, and I'm going to put 2 rows of my tape just because it's skinny. Just going to push that down. And to close this, I recommend closing it like this when you actually peel these up, instead of doing it like this. It just helps it, the card itself, open and close a lot better. So now I'm going to pull my strips off, lay that down, flap that side over, give it a little push. There's the base of your box. You may not want to fold down one of the flaps, whichever one's going to be the back, so it stands up, and then these always flap down. It's up to you. You may want it to flap all the way open. I know most of the cards, the back is standing up, so you can have like a sentiment or something. So that is how easy the base of the card is. So now let's make our inserts. Here's another example, just so you could see. This is what I mean by the inserts. This is what you're going to stick all your stuff to decorate. But it does fold flat. Nice and easy. Okay, so grab that other sheet of paper, the other half of that for your inserts, and grab your paper trimmer. Okay, so now the inserts are going to be 3 9/16 by 4 3/4. So I'm going to start off on the long side and cut my 4 3/4. Then I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees and cut my 3 9/16. So again, you want to count those little tick marks. So I'm going to make 2 of these. You don't need this piece anymore. Now grab your scoreboard. And first you want to, on the long side, you're going to score at 1 inch. On either side. So I basically do that, I flip it, and I score 1 inch again. Your preference, do that to both pieces. Then you're going to turn it 90 degrees. So you're going to have the short edge up here, And then you're going to cut, or score, sorry, at 2 3/8. So right here. Okay. Now you don't need this anymore. Alright, so you can go ahead and make your folds, get them softened up. Now, the instructions I saw is you cut these and you fold it all up, I guess for stability, but I found it made it too bulky, so it's up to you. You probably didn't have to do this score, or they did it just for a nice edge at the top of your box. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut these squares out so a little less bulk on the fold, and leave this, and I'll tape that down. Just using my scissors to make it nice and quick. Again, I recommend the sticky strip, and you're going to put sticky strip on either side here, and then on this side, because you're going to fold that down just for stability. So I'm going to start here. Just going to use one piece. Just going to do things together. That just makes the cardstock a little stiffer, and it won't bend. Just working my little edges again. Okay, so now you want to put the sticky strip here and here. It's up to you if you want a lot. I would probably do a lot, but for the sake of the video, I'm just going to do one strip. I love this stuff because you just tear it. The red line, you need scissors, and then you need nails to get the dang red line part off. So, okay, so here is the little bit of a tricky part. These are going to go in, and I recommend putting the back panel in first, like so, for your spacing. So, I didn't stick that in yet. So here's the tricky part, because this stuff is sticky. So you want to get it in, make sure your fold, I would say, is at the top, so you have a pretty nice fold. I'm going to bend this and slide it in, and you want to make sure it's level or a little below that top area, and then just give it a push, and give it a push. And if you want to just fold your card back down, give it a little rub, it just helps it fold easier. Okay, so there's your first panel. Now for the second one, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to stick it in, and I'm going to butt it up against the next one. So then you have 3 even spaces. On my example, I kind of goofed, and I'll show you again. My spacing wasn't very good because I started wrong. But it doesn't matter. It's however you want to make it. It still turned out wonderful. So again, stick that in there, give it a push, fold it down, and voila, your card base. So now you can make this and decorate it however you want. You can decorate the panels, the front, the inside. Again, I'll show you mine. You can see how my spacing was off, but it doesn't matter. it just gives you more depth. And I just cut little pieces of scrap paper out of the same piece just to stick everything up. I do recommend just to make nothing taller than the card, otherwise it's not going to fit in your envelope. Now to the envelope. Alright, so in my other piece of paper, you are going to need your paper trimmer, and that We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch makes it so easy. Alright, so your envelope is going to be, your base paper for your envelope is going to be 9 3/4 by 9 3/4. So you guys can see 9 3/4. Rotate 9 3/4. So now I'm going to get my We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board. This makes it so easy. So you are going to score this at 4.5. So what you do is you take your paper, and you put it in there, and you put it at 4.5 right here. But there's a score line right here, if you saw underneath. So you're just going to go ahead and score on that line, and you're going to give it a punch. And then when you rotate it, it says score guide. You're going to line that score line up with this little tongue. So now you're ignoring this, lining up there. You can give it a punch and a score. Line it up, punch, score. Again, line up, punch, score. There you go. It's up to you if you want to put it on the other side and round the corners. Again, I recommend the tacky tape. I'm going to quickly just put a few pieces so this isn't any longer than it needs to be. I recommend, putting full pieces of tape. I just like to put that down, put that up. Here's our sample. There you go. And there we have our 3D pop-up card. I do recommend taking it to the post office to mail because you're probably going to need extra postage. So there we have it. Here's the card again. I hope you make a bunch of these cards using your Newton's Nook Designs stamps and play along in our challenge, our Inky Paws challenge. I'd like to see what you create. Bye!